You say them without thinking. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 7 little words you've spoken your whole life. But here's something strange. You've been naming gods, ancient ones. Every single week, without knowing it, you've been reciting a list of forgotten deities, gods of war, of thunder, of love, that people once prayed to, sacrificed to, feared. And buried in the middle of your week is a secret that even most people who speak English every day have never noticed. Halfway through, the gods quietly change religions. Let me show you. Start with the easy ones. Sunday. Look at the word. Sun. Day. It's not hidden at all. It's the day of the sun. The Old English called it Sunnanday. The Romans, dies sochlis, the day of the burning star at the center of everything. Monday. Say it slowly. Moon. Day. Monday is the moon's day. Old English, Nanday. In the old Norse stories, the moon wasn't just a rock in the sky. It was a figure named Mashni, racing across the heavens, chased forever by a wolf. So far, simple. 2 days, 2 lights in the sky, the sun and the moon. But where did the rest come from? Why 7 days at all? And why these names? For that, we have to go back, way back, past England, past Rome, all the way to ancient Babylon. The Babylonians watched the sky obsessively, and they noticed something. Against the fixed background of stars, there were 7 lights that moved: the sun, the moon, and 5 wandering points we now call planets: Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn. 7 moving lights. And so they built a 7-day rhythm, 1 day for each. The Greeks inherited it. The Romans formalized it. And the Romans did something important. They named those planets after their gods. So the Roman week became a week of gods. The day of Mars, the day of Mercury, the day of Jupiter, the day of Venus, the day of Saturn. We can even date it. In the year 321 of the Common Era, the Roman Emperor Constantine made the 7-day week official across the empire and, newly converted to Christianity, declared the sun's day a day of rest. The shape of your week was set, 1700 years ago, by a Roman emperor. Now watch what happens next. This is where the secret hides, because Rome's week spread north, into the cold forests of the Germanic and Norse peoples. And these people looked at the Roman gods and didn't see strangers. They saw their own gods wearing Roman names. So they swapped them. The Romans had Mars, god of war. The Norse had their own war god, Tiu, also called Tyr. So the day of Mars became the day of Tiu. Tiu's day, Tuesday. And Tiu was no minor figure. There's a story about him. The gods needed to chain a monstrous wolf named Fenrir, a beast destined to devour the world. But the wolf would only allow himself to be bound if a god placed a hand in his jaws as a promise. Only one god was brave enough. Tiu. They chained the wolf, and the wolf, realizing the trick, bit down. Tiu lost his hand. The god of justice, who gave his own hand to keep a promise. That's who you name when you say Tuesday. Keep going. The Romans had Mercury, messenger, traveler, guide. The Norse looked at Mercury and saw their highest god of all, Woden, Odin, the one-eyed wanderer who traded an eye for wisdom, who hung himself from the world tree for 9 nights to learn the secrets of the runes. The day of Mercury became Woden's day. Wednesday. Then Jupiter, king of the Roman gods, hurler of thunder and lightning. Well, the Norse had a thunder god too. The most famous of them all, Thor. Red-bearded, hammer-swinging Thor, defender of gods and men, whose very name means thunder. The day of Jupiter became Thor's day. Thor's day, Thursday, and Venus, Roman goddess of love and beauty. The Norse matched her with Frigg, Odin's wife, goddess of love and marriage. The day of Venus became Frigg's day, Friggidae, Friday. Though here, even the scholars argue. Some say the day belongs not to Frigg, but to Freya, another goddess of love, so similar that the two may once have been the same. Even now, 1,000 years later, we're not entirely sure which goddess owns your Friday. Do you see what just happened? Look at the middle of your week again. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 4 days in a row, and every single one is a Norse god in disguise. Thor, Woden, Thor, Frigg. You've been speaking the names of Viking gods this entire time. And here's how you can see the seam, the exact place where the religions switch. Look at another language. In French, Tuesday is Mardi, still the day of Mars. In Spanish, it's Martes, Mars again. Wednesday in French is Mercredi, Mercury. Thursday is Jeudi, from Jupiter. Friday, Vendredi, Venus. The French and Spanish kept the Roman gods. English swapped in the Norse ones. Same week, same planets, same origin, but two different pantheons, frozen into two different languages. Mars in Paris, Thor in London. The same day, named for two different war gods, separated by the English Channel and 1,000 years. Which leaves one last day, Saturday, and Saturday breaks the pattern. Because when the Norse reached the day of Saturn, they didn't have a matching god. So in English, something unusual happened. We just kept the Roman one. Saturday. Saturnus Day. The day of Saturn, Roman god of agriculture and time. It's the only day in the English week that still wears its original Roman name, unchanged, while all its neighbors were swapped out. The lone Roman survivor standing among Norse gods. The Norse themselves went a different way entirely. They didn't name it after a god at all. They called it Logardag, washing day, bath day, after all those gods of war and thunder and love, the weekends quietly with a bath. So now go back to the beginning, to those 7 little words you say without thinking. Sunday am the sun, Monday the moon, Tuesday Thor, the god who lost his hand, Wednesday Woden, who traded an eye for wisdom, Thursday Thor, the thunder, Friday Frigg, goddess of love, Saturday Saturn, the last Roman standing. Every week of your life is a tiny museum, a relic of Babylon's astronomers who counted 7 lights in the sky, of a Roman emperor who fixed the week in the year 321, of Viking gods smuggled into your calendar by people who saw their own faith reflected in someone else's. There's one more thread, and it's the deepest of all. The god behind Thursday, Jupiter, and the Greek Zeus, and even Thor, the god behind Tuesday, all trace back to the same ancient word. A single sky god worshipped before Rome, before Greece, before any of these names existed. So old we've forgotten his real name. We only call him Deus, the Shining One. Every Tuesday and every Thursday, in English and in Spanish, you're echoing a god so ancient that no living language remembers him clearly. You didn't choose any of this. Nobody sat you down and explained it. The names were simply handed to you, worn smooth by centuries until they became invisible, just sounds, just Tuesday, just Friday. But they were never just sounds. Every week you walk through the same 7 doors, and behind each one stands a god, patient, forgotten, still quietly waiting to be named. So the next time you say Thursday, remember what you're really saying. Thunder. And if you like the kind of story where a simple question turns into something bigger, that's the whole point of this channel. Subscribe, and you won't miss the next one. A like helps more people find it. I'll see you in the next one.